Going up those weight classes to face him, how can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because, they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do. And another thing, bro, I don't be wanting to, how these guys is, then you get hurt against,
Madrimov?
Who?
There you talking about
Gamboa.
Talking about Gamboa. By Madrimov, is that what you said?
No, he got flipped by
Gamboa,
right?
Yeah.
Right? How the fuck he's looking that strong over the past year, these years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, that's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Y'all laugh. I'm always.
No, do tell. Open up.
And that guy that a part of it, he been caught before. He went to jail for it.
Talking about Victor Conte.
He went to jail, right?
Victor Conte?
Yeah. And he the owner of the snack shit, right? And he went to jail for it. Now it's like, you see, I don't want to throw him out of the bus, but you see, Earl said some things like that, about the people using steroids, but he don't want to say no names, but come on, bro.
Did Gervonta Davis just reveal Terrence Crawford's secret plan to beat Canelo Alvarez? If Tank's claims are true, this fight isn't just about skill anymore, it's about strategy, mind games, and maybe even a touch of controversy. This is the super fight no one thought would happen, Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence "Bud" Crawford. Two undisputed champions from completely different weight classes. Now that it's official, the boxing world, and the fighters, are in a frenzy.
Do you feel that Terrence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the million-dollar question. When I watched Terrence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. Yeah. He's not getting rattled at all. No. Berlanga's a big kid. Right. Yeah. So it makes me think, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard. Right. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't
a lot
you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet.
Obviously, Canelo has the power to hurt anyone.
In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure. Right. And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know? And he doesn't run, and he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm gonna.
And of course, Gervonta Davis, never one to miss a chance to stir the pot, is already throwing shade with receipts. Tank has been calling out Crawford's game plan for weeks, but his latest claim is bold. He says Crawford is cooking up a cheat code to snatch the win from Canelo. Let's break it down. First off, let's be real, Terrence Crawford moving from welterweight to face Canelo at super middleweight is wild. Bud started his career at lightweight, and now he's jumping 3 weight classes to take on a guy who's been knocking people out at 168 for years.
I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev was older.
He
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo going?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
Even Amir Khan, the only boxer to have faced both Canelo and Crawford, put it plainly, there are weight classes for a reason. And he's right. Canelo has natural power, a thicker frame, and far more experience against bigger opponents like Bivol, Golovkin, Plant, and Jacobs. Meanwhile, Crawford has only just left welterweight and is now chasing history. But if Tank is to be believed, he's not just chasing history, he's chasing optics.
Bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to a box fight. Yeah, I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this and another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says Dalton's levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably on the same level, but in my opinion, both guys don't need to fight each other just yet.
Alright, let's break down what Tank is really claiming here, because this isn't just trash talk, it's a full-on chessboard accusation. Gervonta Davis didn't just throw shade, he essentially called Crawford's entire game plan fraudulent. According to Tank, Crawford isn't stepping in the ring with Canelo to trade fire for fire. Instead, he's crafting a carefully calculated illusion, a boxing IQ masterclass narrative, being spoon-fed to the public before the first bell even rings.
Ain't Canelo's ass a little early on, put Canelo behind, right? Even if it's 3 out of the first 4 rounds, because when Canelo has to fight, when Canelo has to step it up, after 7 rounds, he starts to fade a little bit. We've seen that with Bivol. We've seen it in a lot of his fights with Triple G. You know, when Canelo could control the fight and the ring generalship, he could fight 12 rounds pretty good. But when Canelo gets pushed early on in the fight, he starts to fade muscle endurance-wise. So if I was Crawford, I would kind of stay in his ass a little bit on, the early rounds and make him have to play catch-up in rounds 3, 4, 5. And then by round 7, that's where, he could really step it up.
Simple, control the storyline, control the outcome. Tank claims Bud and his team are already shaping the narrative through interviews, podcasts, and press conferences. Crawford is a genius. Crawford sees what no one else can. Crawford's movement is elite. His footwork will baffle Canelo. Sound familiar? It's a psychological warfare move, plant the seed in fans' minds, sway the judges, and suddenly even a close fight looks like a Crawford clinic. All Bud needs to do is land some flashy counters, circle the ring, avoid too many heavy shots, and boom, public opinion tilts in his favor. Tank's exact words, it's all smoke and mirrors. And he's not pulling this out of thin air. He points to Crawford's past wins, like the Errol Spence fight, where Bud's aura of ring IQ played a huge role in how dominant he appeared. Yes, Bud dismantled Spence, but Tank argues that same tactic won't work on someone like Canelo, who's seen every trick in the book.
What are your expectations for what the next couple of months are going to hold for both guys?
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terrence Crawford because he's the smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, etc., etc. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in, because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy. Terrence Crawford can't go in there and say, hey, I want a rehydration clause. Not that he even would, right? So everyone's looking at Crawford. How big is he going to be? But I'm looking at Canelo. What Canelo comes into this fight? The older Canelo, meaning the younger Canelo, the older guy, the old, long time ago Canelo, who was a really well-rounded counterpuncher, who could do everything, or this more recent Canelo, who just hunts guys down and has become more one-dimensional.
Here's the thing, Tank believes that if this fight is even remotely close, Crawford's media campaign will make it seem like a one-sided win. And that's not boxing skill, that's media manipulation. Is it smart? Low-key, yeah. Bud selling his movement, IQ, and timing like he's Mayweather 2.0. But is it honest? That's where Tank draws the line. He's basically calling it a rigged vibe check, where Bud sets expectations so he wins the perception game even without dominating the fight.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terrence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
And let's not overlook the timing. Crawford's been popping up on Hotboxing, $1 million worth of game, and ESPN, dropping hints that his IQ is his ultimate weapon. His coach, Bomac, is echoing the message, Bud's too smart for Canelo, he'll be 3 steps ahead. Here's where it gets spicy. Amir Khan, who's trained with Crawford after being stopped by him, is backing Bud 100%. He told The Ring, Crawford has perfect boxing IQ. He sees everything. Khan even admitted Bud hits harder than people realize, something Gervonta completely disagrees with. Tank recently said Crawford's power is mid and won't carry to 168. But Khan believes Bud has just enough pop to keep Canelo honest while racking up points and staying clear of danger. So, who's capping, Khan or Tank?
Crawford could beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
This is the part that really bothers Tank. Many insiders believe Crawford is playing the timing game, not the weight game. Let's be real, Canelo isn't in his prime anymore. His recent performances haven't been legendary. He looked flat against Bivol, and even his win over Jermall Charlo didn't exactly scream king of 168.
The win, critics questioned his performance by saying that Canelo failed to deliver an exclamation point. And of course, unsurprisingly, David Benavidez was once again brought up in the conversation. People that were critical about Canelo's way of navigating the fight have pointed out that if Canelo can't knock out a much less experienced Edgar Berlanga, it's then very obvious why a fight with David Benavidez is something that Canelo isn't really interested in. As of right now, a rematch with Dimitri Bivol, assuming that he wins against Arthur Beterbiev, is more likely to materialize rather than Canelo fighting David Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez has already made it clear earlier this week that a rematch with Bivol at 175 for the undisputed light heavyweight title is the tentative plan, provided of course that Bivol is successful in capturing those belts this coming October 12th against Arthur Beterbiev. What about you? What are your thoughts about that fight? And has Edgar Berlanga managed to earn—
So when Crawford saw that, Tank believes he pounced. Instead of chasing tough fights like Boots Ennis at 147 or Jermall at 154, Bud skipped the line and went straight for a slightly slower, aging Canelo for the glory and the bag. Gervonta says that's not greatness, that's manipulation.
Have you been in there with Crawford? Yeah. So you've been in there with Crawford, you've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is going to definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo experience. You got Crawford got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally like sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from grab that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terrence Crawford.
So, let's break it down. When Tank says cheating plan, he's talking about narrative control, politics, and judges. Think about it. Crawford is now the media's golden boy. After schooling Spence, everyone's calling him the new pound-for-pound king, and his boxing IQ is being hyped like he's the second coming of Floyd Mayweather.
Say a lot of negative things about Canelo's resume, but I won't. I wanna, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say after I beat him.
When he pushed you, I know you've gained weight. You look actually a lot bigger. When he gave you a half shove, how is that size feeling now?
Listen, that wasn't nothing. What I mean? That little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not gonna be pushing, we're gonna be punching. So it doesn't even matter.
And what happened to Floyd in his later fights? He was given rounds just for being defensive and smart. Tank warns the same could happen here, except this time it's Bud versus Canelo. Crawford's team, he says, is planting seeds early to sway fans and judges in his favor. That's the real game, not boxing, but marketing. And let's not forget, Tank and Bud aren't exactly friends. There's been tension for years. Tank's camp once hinted at a possible fight, but Crawford laughed it off. Tank fired back, claiming Bud only fights guys he can bully and wouldn't last a round with someone his own size and power.
When people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck. Him. If everybody including Will, Will. Fuck.
Question for you. You're a proud father.
So this whole exposing the game plan move isn't just boxing commentary, it's personal. Tank feels Crawford is ducking real competition and chasing names that look great on paper but come with built-in advantages. He's calling it what it is, clout chasing. Here's the twist, while Tank is out here breaking down Crawford's supposed strategy, Bud has stayed silent, cool, and calculated. He's posting training clips, keeping interviews relaxed, and refusing to take the bait.
One more thing. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terrence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, They ain't been wow, blew me away. So I'm not really worried about all of that. And the same thing goes with Crawford. I know he's with Snack, and I know some news came out this week and all of that, but I personally believe that Snack is clean. I think it's a conflict of interest, the fact that, hey, he knows how to beat the system, quote unquote, Victor Conte, but at the same time, I think Snack, you got products going around the world, this and that. I mean, all these athletes are testing. They're not testing anything or positive by using Snack at all. So I think they're safe. There's no doubt about it. So with that being said, I'm not worried about that. As long as they testing, I'm good.
And that's what makes this fight even more unpredictable. If Tank's right and this is all part of a psychological setup, Bud's playing it perfectly. While everyone debates size, weight, and power, Crawford is building a mental edge, and he knows one thing: Canelo hates being outthought. Here's where it gets even juicier. The boxing world is split right down the middle on this fight. And it's not just fans arguing on Twitter, we're talking legends, trainers, analysts, and even active fighters picking sides like it's high school lunch tables.
More weight classes, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terrence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo had, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? we tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and we see how that panned out. You know what I mean? So
On one side, you've got Team Canelo, ride-or-die fans who believe his power, experience, and body shots will be far too much for Crawford, especially at 168 pounds. Names like Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, and even David Benavidez's camp have hinted that Bud might be underestimating just how dangerous a bigger, smarter Canelo really is.
Shane, what do you think about Canelo and Crawford?
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. He's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. If you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know. But everybody think, Crawford, he's a great boxer. He's this, he's that, which he is. He's a great fighter, and I think he's a great fighter at 140, 47, and he seems just to be, good at 54. And now we're going to 68.
How many more tricks has Canelo learned since you last fought him?
But then there's Team Crawford, and they're loud. We're talking Roy Jones Jr., Andre Ward, Shakur Stevenson, and even Tank's former rival Devin Haney, all insisting Bud's timing, IQ, and footwork will neutralize Canelo's size. Roy even said that if Bud makes it through the first 4 rounds without getting clipped, he might just school Canelo.
Cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's physically kind of big, but height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, man.
Corey, how you got a decision to stop this? Because Brandon and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too.
So, is Gervonta Davis really exposing a shady master plan, or is he just upset Bud's about to steal the spotlight? Either way, one thing's clear, Terrence Crawford isn't just fighting Canelo, he's fighting expectations, history, and doubters like Tank. The real question is, can he win them all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.